a real foreign policy hawk taking the national security hot seat in the White House. What's the response been in D.C.?
Yeah, so far there's been a somewhat muted response from Republicans. Some of the Republicans who were very vocal when John Bolton was floated as a potential Secretary of State. They said that he would never make it through confirmation. Instead, they realized that the president has made his choice, and Republicans largely are not being very opposed to him. But we are seeing Democrats speak out and say that he would be a danger to U.S. national policy because he's so hawkish and because he has supported wars in the past. Everyone's sort of waiting and wishing to see whether or not he's going to bring that hawk type background into the White House and bring the president towards a more aggressive foreign policy going forward.
Well, Shawn Golhar, that's my final question to you, sir. I mean, I think a lot of people over the last year have made things seem more dramatic than they actually are. But here's an individual, Shawn, that couldn't get confirmed by a Republican-controlled Senate to be the U.S. ambassador to the UN under George W. Bush. Here's an individual over the last few years who's written op-eds about bombing North Korea and bombing Iran, and now he has the president's ear. Some people will be concerned about that, Shawn, quite rightly so.
I think the overall change of leadership is always a bit concerning when it happens so quickly. And in this case, you've got a couple big things. One is the JCPOA, the U.S. P5+1 deal with Iran. That's coming up for review, as well as obviously the North Korea summit, as you mentioned. Obviously, we are very concerned on our end. You know, we're also watching the free trade side of this as you see the folks that want more protectionist policies being elevated. I think there should be concern from that, and the market should be concerned from that. But keep in mind, I think the president does like to see a little bit of a debate inside his inner circle to help see how different sides play out. So if you have everybody talking on one side, I'm curious to see who rises up to talk through how do we think through this through diplomacy, how do we talk about free trade and creating new trade deals. I'd be curious to see who plays that role now.